How about now? Can you hear me a little bit better? Better? All right, good. What I am so excited about, and this is what I was just mentioning just a minute ago, is over the last week, I've actually experienced quite a phenomenal shock, really, to me personally, because having these really large leaders contact me and reach out to me and tell me that they are looking at AdHitProfits as their next opportunity. I've spoken with leaders that are in South Africa and Australia, Portugal, as well as just today I had a pretty nice meeting with someone who's actually in the UK with teams stretching throughout many different countries with over 15,000 people that are involved with Banners Broker. And because of their experience now with Banners Broker, they're looking at AdHitProfits as being their next big thing that they're getting their entire group and organization in. So he wants to do his due diligence and fly out and meet me, and he's saying that he's going to be doing this in the next couple of weeks. So this is really an exciting time for AdHitProfits. Is there some people that when we first launched, they said this isn't going to even make a month. And now here we are over a month later, and things are going great. You know, I want to address something that I've heard some people say, and Ernie has mentioned it a little bit as well, is some slowdown. We certainly did experience an explosion. We went from having nearly no members at all, just a couple of hundred, up to over 7,000 members in a very short amount of time. And I'm seeing that this might very well be another growth spurt as we're seeing some of these leaders come in. What I want to point out is just been paid, and this is something that a lot of people in here may have already been involved in, but just been paid had millions of people involved in that, and that was paying at 2% daily. So what I've been able to deduce from that is that millions of people are happy with 2% daily. What we're looking at, and there is someone on Facebook who put together this little spreadsheet, and I was really grateful to see that we've actually been reaching over 5% consistently for the last week or more. So even though we're not at the 20s, 26% daily or anything like that anymore after the explosion, we've kind of leveled off around 6 to 7, around 5%, and it looked like a couple of days ago we went down to 2%, and that was a day where people were like, oh my gosh, what's happening? The great thing is it's 2%. This is something that millions of people were so excited about with just been paid. So I really feel that with AdHitProfits, we're not going to have any resets. We're not going to have anything like that because all of the revenue that's coming in is completely backed by real sales, and all of those sales are being split with everybody. So if there is any ups or downs, it's really just the correlation between two factors. And those two factors are the number of shares in the system and the number of advertisement purchases in that given day. So as you see through a 30-minute period, there might be some people who say, oh, I didn't see anything in the last 30 minutes. Well, it might be because we've got really over 53,000 active shares. So let's say within a 30-minute period, $400 comes in. You know, $400 split among 50,000 shares is kind of small, you know, but we're seeing such a significant amount where people are actually seeing over 4 or 5% every single day. I feel that this is a truly incredible opportunity. I'm seeing so many happy things going on, and sometimes, from my perspective, I'm just at my little computer plunking along, and I'm answering support tickets. I'm in communication with my programmer. I'm just sending out those payments. I'm just doing all this managerial kind of stuff, you know, and sometimes behind this curtain, it's hard to recognize what's truly going out there in the world. And sometimes I'll get on my Facebook and see these people saying, thank you so much, because this is what I've been able to do. And so that video that Ernie was showing at the very beginning, made by Linda, that really gave me shivers, because it helped me recognize what's really being done. While I'm just doing this little mechanical stuff behind the scenes, there's some huge things going on out there, and it's really hard for me to recognize that. But I just want to say thank you to all of you, every single one of you who's involved with AdHitProfits, everyone out there that's sharing your excitement with others, everything that's being done here with AdHitProfits, all of the records that we're breaking, all of the money that's being paid out is being done because of all of you. I might be the one that's sending out some advertisements myself, but it's really all of your testimonials, all of the things that you guys are doing, talking with your family, your friends, connecting with people on Skype, connecting with people on Facebook, going to the groups and answering questions. I know there are so many things that are unseen by myself being done out there that are truly helping other people. And I just want to say thank you all for everything that you're doing that's making AdHitProfits as incredible that it is, so incredible that we're having more and more people taking a look not only at AdHitProfits to get involved, but taking a look at AdHitProfits of seeing how they can duplicate and copy our website so that they can have a program just like ours. And I just look at that and just say, wow, you know, as I was kind of in my little brainstorming session before even this was just an idea in my mind, all I was really looking for is how can I make something that can work for everybody and that can work long term. And so there's all these kinds of different factors. I was looking at different programs, different pitfalls that people fell into with those other programs, and how I can avoid those and build in those safeguards to ensure that AdHitProfits is something that can last for years to come. So now that I'm seeing all of that work actually pay off in some way, I just am so grateful to all of you for catching the vision, catching the dream, and running with it and getting it out to the masses. Just thank you so much for everything. And you're right, Rhonda. Being copied is definitely the greatest form of flattery. So I kind of look at that as being a compliment. Let them copy, because they can't copy the team. They can't copy the leaders that we've got on board. They can't copy everything that we have here. And that's one of the things that I just think you guys are what makes AdHitProfits so special. So thanks for choosing AdHitProfits and for being here with us. Were there any questions while I have you all here, while I'm still on the mic before I turn the time over to Pam? Thanks, Carolyn. You know, and Carolyn, thanks for your beautiful artwork in the Skype groups. I really appreciate what you do there. You know, speaking about vision, as I'm starting to see how this is growing and the type of people that are coming involved here, what I'm starting to recognize is that this has become even a more powerful hub of people where they can get referrals to whatever opportunity they're involved. It's a real targeted marketing tool for building opportunities. I actually had one of these leaders who tested out AdHitProfits. They were just testing the revenue share aspect, the listing advertisement where they got the 1,000 visitors. From their visitors, they actually had a 4% opt-in rate into their list. They had a lead capture page, and 4%, over 4% actually, of their visitors opted in to their newsletter. And for them, they were saying, this is already worth more than gold, because for $45, they got a whole bunch of leads that they were just phenomenally impressed with. So that alone is like attracting leaders in, saying there's some real power to our advertising. The banner advertising, people are saying, I've had better results on your banners than I've ever had anywhere else. So those are the types of things that I just feel like, wow, I'm so grateful that this is working out. And I really hope that this continues to be as a powerhouse as it has already. I guess you're right, Ryan, and that's kind of the vision where I'm taking this, is as we get more and more visitors, more and more traffic, and grow even larger, then the advertising sales can be kind of tweaked a little bit as far as when it comes to the pricing, how it's sold. Maybe we might switch over to a pay-per-click advertising model and even raise the roof on the kind of revenues that might be coming in just from that alone. Are we going to be adding any more advertising products later, like login ads? That's something that I've been looking at. What I've been wanting to do, I've actually built into, or had the programmer build in, is a news pop. And I've been thinking about selling some advertising space on the newsletter that I want to have pop up. And I don't know how often those are going to pop up, But I want to start having that pop up, especially as I'll be rolling forward with Easy Bonds, having that be more of a. I want people to be able to recognize what Easy Bonds really is and what makes that so special to our share model. Because one of the great things about Easy Bonds is they have just a low flat fee. So it's a $3 fee. So if you're spending $1,000, for example, you're only going to be spending a $3 fee on that spend. Whereas if you're using another processor, it's a whole lot more than $3. And if you withdraw $1,000, it's a $3 fee rather than having to spend a whole lot more when you receive that. So you're receiving more of your money, paying less fees. And one of the great things is of that $3 that's being processed of that fee, they actually share 75 cents of that. So as all of the transactions are coming from and going back through Easy Bonds, it's actually going to be adding to our revenue that we share with all of our members. So I actually have it built in with my programmer that the 75 cents is going to be automatically generated into the revenue share pool anytime somebody makes a purchase or anytime that anyone withdraws with Easy Bonds. And so that's where I would probably recommend, just for additional revenue and strength and stability for AdHitProfits, is for as many people who could or want to try Easy Bonds and just see what the difference is. And I've heard so many people who have used Easy Bonds with other opportunities that they've been in who have said, we love it so much because it gives us our money faster to our bank, there's less fees, and they couldn't be happier. So as they've seen that Easy Bonds is being introduced to AdHitProfits, it's actually brought in some bigger people who are looking to spend bigger amounts of money because they don't want to put that kind of money through the fees of Solid Trust Pay or Payza. So as they're hearing that we're going to be introducing Easy Bonds, it's actually attracting a more higher spending type of market who want to get involved because of that kind of a thing. How do you get money into Easy Bonds? It's very similar actually to the process of doing a bank wire to Solid Trust Pay. If you are depositing with a bank transfer or a bank wire with Solid Trust Pay, you'll need to take something to your bank to complete that transfer. That's the same thing with Easy Bonds. And Easy Bonds, they have found that their customers have that ability to do that transfer either online with their bank, if their bank does that, if it's something that's built into their online banking, or going to the actual bank branch. So that way it's completely safe, secure, and that money is then available for you faster than any other processor for a spend. And then that can make it so that when you receive your money as well, it's a lot faster too. They were telling me that in most situations, funds are available within 24 hours, maybe up to 20 or 48 hours. It very rarely is any more than that. If you have funded with Solid Trust Pay, the current rule that's in place now is that you can only withdraw with Easy Bonds if you have made a purchase with Easy Bonds. And the main reason for that is because it's just been newly added. There's all of the majority of the funds that have been made or from purchases on the site right now have all come through Solid Trust Pay and Payza. The funds that came through Liberty Reserve, those have all been traded out. So we don't have Liberty Reserve funds on hand at all. So right now with Easy Bonds, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on it. So far, today it just barely was made available. No one even probably has noticed that it's been made available because I haven't put up that news pop yet. But there's just no funds available for withdrawal yet on that processor. So I wouldn't want to offer any withdrawal with that processor until there's actually going to be some funds there to back up those withdrawals. You know, as you were saying, Rhonda, expand with a social network site. That's something that some have recommended with AdHitProfits. It's something that I've kind of looked at. I'm not sure exactly how to really integrate that into the same model and at the same time not make it so confusing, but I'm definitely brainstorming. As this is something I'm quite passionate about, I've been kind of looking at how I would be able to integrate that into the site, keep it simple, and make it so that people don't know what they're supposed to do when they get to the site. Any other questions for me before I turn the time over to Pam? Can I buy one share with mixed funds? There's not a way to purchase from more than one processor. Your bringing up this question does raise something that I might want to look at. But one of the things that I've been talking about with the processors individually is something called money laundering. And although many people, probably 99% of the people, would be doing that for a very legitimate reason, there's a lot of people who are looking at adding funds through one processor and withdrawing through another for illegal intentions. So that's one of the things that Easy Bonds, they've actually kind of asked me to eliminate the other processors on the website, but I have told them that I want to make sure that people have a choice. Just like if you go to the grocery store, you're going to see different brands of milk, or different checkout, on the checkout line, you're going to see different methods of payment that you can use. I want to be able to provide people who want to use Solid Trust Pay the option of using Solid Trust Pay. Payza, have that available for those who want to use Payza, especially when so many people within internet marketing inside of this niche are using those two processors majorly. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. And thanks for being part of it. I really am grateful for all of you guys for being here. All right, so without further ado, Pam, I'm going to go ahead then and turn the time over to you.